Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. How are you doing on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday? Are you guys enjoying summertime? Are you hoping fall's coming quickly? Has anybody noticed any fall or Christmas stuff showing up in the stores yet? For those of you that have been around for a while, you know my opinions on that stuff, so I won't go into that, but enjoy summer while it's here. Enjoy the warmth. You know, you think, oh, majestic snow, you know, cool autumn breezes, and those things are wonderful. However, sometimes you're going to be thinking, man, I wish I would have enjoyed that summer. The grass is always greener on the other side, no matter where you're at. And sometimes you look back and you're like, man, I should have just enjoyed myself. Living in the moment, right? Okay, so we're taking another trip back to some of these NASA to the moon recordings. We've done this in the past a couple of times. Seems like folks are pretty interested in these records, so I thought we would do it again. It's a Time Life box set, similar to those Reader's Digest sets, and it's sort of a narrated documentary on the space race, which is really, really cool. And I have only listened to really what we've heard together. I believe I have the entire set, so I thought, you know, we're just going to keep going along and listen to some more of this. They're beautiful, beautiful records. If you remember, you know, us talking about, sorry if I keep bumping the camera. We keep talking about Reader's Digest records and their partnership with RCA and the impeccable quality. Time Life Records had a similar partnership with Capitol. And I don't know if these ones say Capitol on them or not, but it would be my assumption that these are Capitol records. They are also of, you know, very good quality. Perhaps not quite as good as the RCA records. To listen to it today, we're going to break out the old Vibe USB turntable record player. And the reason why is because I wanted to try something. Here's a USB cable. This is a USB turntable. If you've seen the review on this, by the way, this was $33 brand new. So you can get a record player without a lot of money, and this is living proof. It's a great starting unit, you guys. You can hook it up to a bigger stereo system, you can power it off a USB, or use it in conjunction with Audacity, back up your vinyl. That's kind of the basic idea. It's got a 33 or 45 speed switch on the back here. It's been a great little unit. It's got the typical, I don't know if it's a Skywind mechanism, but what's interesting is this one's not floating whatsoever. It's completely molded in. In fact, it's not even like setting inset to this plastic plinth. It's literally one and up. It's the same piece, just with an indent. It's just really weird. There's no suspension whatsoever. And you know what? It works just fine. And you can use it with a wall wart, the USB and the wall wart, or you can power it off your computer. So I thought just for grins, we would power it off of a little portable battery. This is like a cell phone battery type of deal. It's been a really good investment. I heard it pop on. We got the blue light there. So truly a portable option, you guys. If you want to play music in your RV, even perhaps in a vehicle while you're not driving it, you're riding in a vehicle. Don't do it at the beach. You know, everybody sees these things, you know, can I take it to the beach? Probably the worst place for a stylus and a record. But technically, yeah, you could. And the power goes out, the tunes don't have to stop. Unless the power supply keeps turning off like this one sometimes does. All right, so without further ado, it's not really a record review, not really a record player review show. Let's just listen to some records together. Today we're going to listen to some of the Mercury program, part 3, 1961-62, from the To the Moon series. Let's listen to it a bit. And without further ado, here we go. Without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and throw the cartridge 2 times onto the plinth. I'm trying to destroy this. And it's going well. And now the power supply shuts. Yeah, it's a great option as long as the power supply stays on. Okay, there we go. Things are going splendidly.
June 1961. NASA has scheduled 3 more Redstone tests. But Al Shepard's flight is felt to have been so successful that Mercury management decides to go with just 1 more. Taking place on July 21st. It proves to be something more than a routine repeat of Al Shepard's ride in the sky. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, again, this is the voice of Colonel John Shorty Powers. The actual countdown is being made by Al Shepard, now serving as capsule communicator.
4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, lift off, lift.
Roger, this is Liberty Bell 7, the clock is operating.
Loud and clear, Jose, don't cry too much.
Okie doke. Okay, it's a nice ride up to now.
Loud and clear.
Roger. Okay, the fuel is go, about 1 1/4 G's. Cabin pressure is just coming off the peg. The oxygen is go with 26 amps.
Roger, pitch 8A, trajectory is good.
Roger, looks good here.
This time, the man in the capsule, named Liberty Bell 7, is an Indiana Air Force captain, Virgil I. Grissom, called Gus by his friends.
It's such a fascinating view out the window, you just can't help but look out that way.
I understand.
Until the last moment, the mission goes exactly as planned. In a high curve 305 miles down the Atlantic Range to the open sea. And Shorty Powers calmly relays to the world a description of what is taking place.
I will advise that as a result of communications with Gus Grissom floating in the water, he's told his recovery helicopters that he intends to finish his checklist and make sure that everything is secure in the cockpit before he opens the hatch to come out. And this sounds like typical Gus Grissom. He was not about to do anything until he was sure everything had been done and in a businesslike manner.
Then, suddenly, for some reason never established to this day,
So I was all set, waiting for him, laid back down on the couch. He gave me a call, he was on final, and I knew he'd be in to pick me up in about 10 or 15 seconds. I was just laying there minding my own business, and then pow! The hatchman, I looked up and I saw nothing but blue sky and water starting to come in over the sill. So I tossed my helmet off, and the only two moves I remember making was tossing my helmet off and grabbing the instrument panel and pulling myself out. I only remember grabbing the instrument panel. I don't even remember going out the door. But the chopper pilot said the door came off immediately, followed by myself.
Grissom is in the water. He's near to drowning when a helicopter gets to him and hauls him to safety. Meanwhile, the sea is pouring into the capsule, increasing its weight, overheating the engine of another helicopter that is trying desperately to lift it to safety. The helicopter is forced finally to cut loose and let the capsule sink beneath the waters, with all the precious records of the flight. Later, Gus will say,
Well, I was scared a good portion of the time. I guess this is a pretty good indication.
an unbelieving reporter asks,
Scared. Okay. I've been scared a few times before.
it is Gus's destiny, as it will be again 5.5 years later, at the cost of his life, to demonstrate that the road to the moon is filled with mortal danger. How does a woman feel whose husband has chosen to travel this road? Reen Carpenter, speaking for all the wives of astronauts.
I've been with 17 women in the first hour after they've lost their husband in a violent crash. These men were test pilots before they were astronauts. They were career men before they were test pilots. They are professional career officers. They have always lived a life of service to their country. When I married...
All right. And the power supply decided to cut out again, so we'll cut it right there. It's a good stopping point, as good as any, I would suppose. I don't know why it started doing this. So I say it's one of the best investments. It actually has worked really well. And I don't know, sometimes it just decides to do that. But you know what? It was like $8 at Walmart, and I had it for a couple of years now, so it just happened. So I thought I would give it a try. So if you had a reliable, USB power supply, this would probably be a little bit cooler. But still really interesting. I love this stuff. The idea of listening to something besides music on vinyl, I think is really cool. To sit down and listen to a story, a program that's edited together is really interesting. And think about it, back in the day when these came out, right now we are inundated with, entertainment. Hundreds of channels, streaming services, yada, yada, yada. But back in the day, to have a story to listen to like this was perhaps a little bit more special than it is today. So that's all I'm going to say about that. We'll listen to more of that series in the coming weeks, months, and years, hopefully. And for now, that's it. To give you a little bit of a preview of what to expect this week, I have no idea. I kind of make this stuff up as I go along. I do believe we will have a product demo. We should be receiving something in the mail this week, and I'm excited because it's not like anything we've really ever done before. So stay tuned for that. It's a very cool looking unit. And if you guys have any show ideas, things you would like to see, the record archive, the vault of Record-ology, I'll let you decide whether or not I'm being sarcastic or not, is brimming full of cool records to show you. In fact, it got a little bit fuller over the weekend. So we'll have some very interesting things to share with you. But if you have a specific request, something you'd like to go over, even if it's instructional, let us know. Let me know. Email me, comment down below. I'm behind on comments, by the way. Tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to try, if I have time, to get caught up on that. So I apologize if I haven't got back to you on your comment. I appreciate every single one of them, and I appreciate every one of you guys. So thank you for being there, guys. Have a great rest of the weekend, what's left of it, and we will see you tomorrow.